Bicker.
It's flying so bad.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another segment of the Bickering Gamers. And yes, time is flying. We're just thinking it's already been over a year now. And today we're actually going to continue an impressions video we did last year on the PS4 before it came out, and now it's been out for a very good long time. So yeah,
They haven't done much to it.
sold well.
Sold well, yes, because a lot of people were expecting a lot.
They were.
But unfortunately, what they've put out so far over this past year, I mean, it's understandable with the new touchscreen and the way the game system...
They're not going to do anything with that touchpad. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're not going to do a goddamn thing with that touchpad.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's the same thing.
They're trying to figure out as much as possible.
It's the same thing with the PS Move. Well, I always thought with the touchpad, what you could do is use it for alternate menus, but that's what the start button's for. Then I thought, well, you could probably use it to make shapes with, but you can do that with the analog stick, and a lot of people bitch about anything that's not a button or an analog stick every 5 seconds. So everyone's just going to use the option where you use the analog stick.
Well, then there's you can also use it like they use it in
Right.
the game.
Well,
Infamous Second Son.
Yeah.
Where you basically just use it to activate things.
Right.
Like, say, in order to absorb a power or something, you gotta touch this touchscreen or swipe it in a certain way.
Mm.
Like, to perform... Like, I would like to see this in an RPG. Where, they've done it already in, Infinity Blade. For the magic, in order to cast the magic, you have to draw a certain shape.
Right, like Nino Kuni.
Yeah, I would like to see that with that.
That's an excellent. That's an excellent idea. You could do it with a touchpad.
Yeah, I would like to see something along those lines.
The thing with Sony is Sony has been historically known to do something to their console just in case that port was successful. Like they added motion control in the DualShock 3 just in case the Wii was successful. Even though they never used it, then they made the Move and they never used that either. Now they're doing the touchpad just in case the Wii was a success.
And the Wii U is a success.
And, well, it's starting to generate. We're getting a lot of momentum for the Wii U right now because of Mario Kart 8.
And Smash Brothers, you can't
Smash is going to
forget
kick
about
its Smash Brothers and Bayonetta 2 are going to kick its ass.
Oh, forget it.
The Wii U is going to kick a lot of ass.
If there isn't a Bayonetta 2 bundle, then...
I'd be shocked, yeah. Actually, yeah, I'd be shocked about that.
If there isn't one, I will be shocked
I am so fucking
Nintendo.
hyped.
But again, this isn't a Nintendo video or a Wii U video, this is a PS4 video.
Well, if anything, if I could say about Bayonetta, I am so fucking excited about that game. The thing is, when I heard that was just on PS3 and 360, that was one of the... Because I haven't played a good hack and slash game in a very long time, and everybody...
Then you haven't played Skyrim.
Well, no, I haven't played Skyrim, but I do want to give that a shot.
Once you get the PS3...
Yeah. And then everybody, and I mean everybody, sucked Bayonetta 1's dick. They said it was so damn fantastic. It has a lot of charm to it. It looks very cool, and I really want to get it.
Yeah, you also can't blame the cleavage.
Yeah. Well, when Bayonetta 2 came out, I was really interested in it, but I was like, I don't know, the first one, I'm gonna have to find that. And I said maybe they'll make it. But they're remaking a Wii U version of Bayonetta 1. It's gonna come with Bayonetta 2 for no additional cost. It's gonna have its own separate disc, and if you buy it on the eShop, it's gonna have a free download included. And it's going to be 1080p, 60 frames, and they're going to use the gamepad the same way they're using for Bayonetta 2.
And alternate costumes.
And yeah, and they're going to have alternate costumes where she's Peach, Zelda, Link, and Samus. Rumor has it you might be Daisy.
Oh, you know what's funny? That Team Zelda said
What?
to Team Bayonetta?
What?
There's not enough cleavage on the Link costume.
Yeah, I heard about it.
I was laughing so hard when I heard that.
But you know something? That is kind of stuff I want Sony to do.
Well, guess what? They really don't care about the people buying their product. They just
That's
care
not
that
true.
the people buy the product.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. They're not Microsoft. They care a little bit.
Yeah. No, the thing is...
They're a little bit better than Microsoft.
Yeah, you're not entirely wrong. Because the thing is, Sony is in a jam. They're in a lot of trouble. The only thing that's making them money are PlayStations and Spider-Man movies. Because...
We're not even lying, people.
Now, Sony Pictures owns the right to make Spider-Man movies. Sony Pictures is using Spider-Man movies. That's why there's one come out every year. And that's why they kind of crammed in a lot of characters. They're cramming a lot of villains in the movies right now. And I like the new Spider-Man
Because
movies.
they're
I don't want to get that wrong
uh,
impression. I really do
moving
like them.
great, but they're still in financial.
Peter!
They're in really big trouble right now because no one's buying their TVs. I thought I gotta say Sony really made me cringe this year at E3 when they had it all going great, but then they had to start talking about buy our TVs, buy this shit, buy that shit, and we'll give you this shit. In fact, the PS Now, the new server they're doing, that new thing where you can buy PlayStation games, that's not going so well because a lot of people are pissed at the kind of prices they're doing for rentals alone. And then permanently buying them is even more expensive. You might as well buy the retail game, because when
Don't even bother with the PS Now. I saw.
the thing is, PS Now is their version of Steam, but there's no Steam sale. Let's just put it that way. There is no the Steam prices are not the same, and it only worked on certain Sony televisions.
I looked. My friend. He bought a Sony TV. He bought a PS4. I looked at the PS Now. My friend is lucky. His parents are set for a really long time.
Right.
Because I saw the price. It's like, oh, you want to rent this game? I'm like,
no,
dude,
yeah, rich boy,
save your money.
No, but the PS4.
If you're not gonna save it, give it to me. I need it.
The PS4 sold incredibly well, in my opinion, because of the PS3's legacy.
Yeah.
The PS3 was a damn good console, and no one realized that until the end of its lifespan. And unfortunately, that means the PS3 is kind of getting overshadowed by the PS4. But because the PS4 is now backwards compatible, that's not a problem anymore. When it was a problem when it wasn't backwards compatible.
I love the fact that it's...
The thing is, Sony's making poor decisions right now because they're desperate for money, and I think that's a wrong thing, because Sony has always been a good-hearted company until now. They're running out of money, and this E3 really showed that. I was really upset with that.
I'm sorry.
They're rushing out
but...
Vita TV currently.
Right. But, in the end of the... and they're really trying to push that
Vita. Their handhelds are going to be taking a bit of a plunge. Right. Due to their little stubborn, price cut. No price cut for the handhelds thing.
Well, the thing is...
they're pricing their Vita TV for $140.
Right. But you know what gets me? What the hell are they doing with the Vita? It's like they're pushing Vitas by doing all this shit with the PS4, but at the same time, same time,
buy our handheld, buy our handheld, buy our handheld. But at the same time,
they're fizzling it away. It's kind of confusing. Do you want us to buy it or you don't? I mean, I like the Vita.
That's the point. I'm saying, okay, I want a Vita because mostly I'm trying to support the overseas companies that I usually get my PSP games from. Right. And Sony's not making it easy for me to get Vita at all. I don't know what they want. Do you want me to get the Vita TV or you want me to get the handheld?
Well, right now it looks like they're focusing on selling their TVs and their PS4s.
Yeah, it's like, it looks like they're trying to convince me to buy the Vita TV.
Well, the thing is,
I'm not seeing it because I'm losing out a bunch of games with the Vita TV. I can't play Gundam Seed Battle Destiny on it. I can't play what else? Can't be played on the TV. The new Dicey Warriors Gundam can't be played on it.
I was actually.
What else?
Well, the thing.
Now I don't remember. Find another long list of games I can't play on the Vita TV, even though it's only $140.
Right, and something. I don't understand why the PS4's library is so slow right now, because I don't know. I really don't know why.
My guess is because they are not actually placing the international games on it. They require you to do the separate accounts like the Apple Store. You gotta have a US account for US games, then you gotta have a Japanese account for the international games.
Right, they're region locked without being region locked.
PS4 internationally.
Yeah, they're region locked without being region locked. But what gets me is where are a lot of the games they've announced that are coming out for the PS4? Not only are also coming out for Xbox One, but they're all delayed like mad. And I don't know, because
maybe there's problems with the software on the PS4.
No, I don't think so, because the PS4 should be the easiest thing to program for.
That's what I'm saying, but I don't know.
The Wii U has lesser specs, but you also have to provide programming for the gamepad capabilities. The Xbox One is a fucking mess because the Kinect was built into the hardware and you couldn't use its full potential, but now they're removing the Kinects. And so that'll be different. But as of right now, the PS4 should be the easiest thing to program for.
But why aren't they programming for it? That's my question.
They are. A lot of them, but the games that are getting developed are You know what I noticed?
Maybe
a lot of the new...
maybe they're running into hidden problems that we don't know.
I don't know, but a lot of the new games are coming out for PS3 and 360 right now. But the big boys, I'm talking Rocksteady, I'm talking Activision, they all want to make their next-gen games, and they're working on that project right now between Arkham Knight, which I'm still pissed off it's not on the Wii U. What else? We have the Midway...
Borderlands prequel.
Right, the new Midway Racer. All of these things are coming on the PS4 and the Xbox One, but they're getting delayed like mad, and I don't know why. Maybe they're focusing on other projects. I don't know.
Because they're trying to figure out game physics that they haven't worked with before.
Like... Maybe they're keeping a lot of secrets. I don't know, because the Wii U kept Devil's Third a secret. Nintendo kept the Devil's Third a secret until E3 for a long time. No one even knew Devil's Third was coming.
No, because I actually saw a video on the Borderlands prequel video, and they were showing features that, like, you can do a front flip or a back flip or something along that line, and you can shoot. Now, for that to even happen, you need to have a very strong software and hardware.
That's right.
Because in order for you to handle the motion doing that, I have not seen anyone do a first-person shooter or any first-person game where you can do a backflip.
That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool, but
because you have to understand like
that's also possible at 60 frames.
It is possible at 60 frames, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing with the system. It has to be strong enough to be able to support the world spinning.
Yeah,
the entire world.
That kind of like make me sick though too.
Well, it's gonna be on the moon.
Nausea.
That's true. But you know what else? It's like it's the same thing with the Oculus Rift.
That don't even get me started.
That shit makes everyone who said it. They said that shit makes me sick. Like really, really sick. Motion sickness, like mad.
No, it didn't give me motion sickness. It gave me a fucking headache.
Right.
I'm not even kidding.
Well, you know. Huh, I didn't know Killer Croc
had a daughter. It's right in front of your eyes, so I won't be surprised if the motion sickness much easier with the Oculus.
I'm sorry, Jimmy, what'd you say? We're going to our side B story there for a second.
Yeah,
I
I'm saying
side C
I
for
won't be
Croc.
surprised you get nausea with the Oculus Rift because it's right in front of your face.
Well, that's another topic for another day, but
yeah.
The PS4...
I don't want to get into that topic.
Let's explore the idea of the fact that they sold extremely well because it was very promising. And it looks like a good investment at first. The thing is, a lot of fans are complaining right now because the thing's acting like a paperweight. We have the PS, but that's okay.
They're not... It's a real good console, but
I'm sure it is.
Games that are releasing.
Look, I have no doubt that this thing is great because all Sony hardware I've ever gotten has been the best experience I've ever gotten. I am a huge Satisfied fan with Sony.
I love Sony
problem,
systems.
Their shit's expensive. It's rightfully expensive. That's the problem.
It's rightfully expensive, but half the time, Sony likes to take sweet time to promote it.
Yeah.
And actually give you a reason to buy it.
Look, 2015 is going to be a real big renaissance year for this generation of consoles. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because all the game lineups we have... I mean, we have a lot of Xbox One exclusives, especially the Halo pack. We have PS4, a lot of exclusives coming out. The Wii U is jam-packed with a lot of shit. This is going to be a good year.
The latest Transformers, Rise of the Darkspawn, was for the PS4 also.
You got me.
Going with what you're saying about the Renaissance thing, I am actually starting to save now for sure. Everything that's coming out.
God, I'm going to be so fucking broke, especially when those amiibos come out. Oh my god.
Don't even get me started with the amiibos.
Alright, so God. I actually heard the math from Game Explain I didn't even think about. There's going to be about 40 character amiibos for the Smash Brothers series. They're going to be about $10 to $15 each. I planned on buying one or two every week. It's going to take me about a year to get the Smash Brothers set alone, and then they're going to make more sets. There's probably going to be an Animal Crossing set where they make every villager in the game. It's going to be crazy. But,
as we digress.
Yeah, but we digress. The PS4, I don't even know. Other than Arkham Knight, really, they have Little Big Planet 3 is going to make a lot of sales.
Don't even get me started on that one. That one's going to be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
That even might be the final reason why I even get the game, the PS4.
Well, you were going to get it regardless, weren't you?
I was, but that might push it for me to get it earlier than I'm planning.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Well, I imagine you're waiting for the library to settle out, right?
I'm waiting to save.
Right. What's up, Jimmy?
I won't be surprised if Atlas actually releases the 5th Persona game for the PS4 because they actually didn't release any Persona game for the PS3. They did actually release the remake of 4 for the Vita.
I agree with you.
So that might be a good selling point for the PS4 once Atlas makes that announcement.
I agree with you, but to a point.
Well, Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna sell a lot.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is only gonna. I'm telling you,
if Atlas makes a decision to move their 5th game to the PS4, it will be a big sellout for the new system.
But when it comes to Atlas, here's the thing. I agree with you, but to an extent. For one thing, I think Atlas will do it very late in this mid to late this generation. The thing with Atlas is that people have to
like a final salute.
The thing is, people have to remember something about Atlas. Atlas is a low budget company. They've been making. There's a reason they've only been making 3DS games lately. It's the last standard definition gaming device in the world that is being made right now. So they're making a lot of 3DS games. When they make Persona,
the most recent non-3DS game was that remake of 4 they put on the Vita.
Yeah, and that's cheap. All you have to do, and that's cheap. All you have to do is bring up the files, get all your maps, and most of the time they won't.
The map, not just stuff to it, and they HD'd most of the graphics for the game and added a whole bunch of new events to the whole game.
Yeah, and they'll probably just pull a Sega and just put an HD filter over the original game. They're probably not even going to bother doing graphical overhaul.
Actually, Atlas did a great job with the remake of Persona 4.
No, I wouldn't doubt that.
That went into a lot of detail. If you're more curious on what they did, you can actually watch the playthrough of Persona 4 Golden on Omega Evolution's channel. He did a whole playthrough of the remake.
Well, the thing with Persona 5 is, I think Persona 5 might be for all 3 consoles because Atlas probably will want to base it off the Wii U specs, so it'll be cheaper. But they won't do anything with. But they won't do anything with the gamepad. It'll probably be a black screen like Tropical Freezes. So that won't do. That'll help the PS4. But the fact that it'll be so late, it'll probably be later in the generation, be for all 3 consoles. Kingdom Hearts 3 right now is a big turning point for the PS4. It is the reason momentum hyped up the PS4. Remember when the PS4 was first announced, and everyone felt so underwhelmed about it? When Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced, that E3 a month later, people went nuts. They said the PS4 is the biggest thing ever, only because of that game. What I thought, though, was that momentum's going to die fast, and I was right, because I said once they realize that Kingdom Hearts 3 is not going to be a launch game, and it will probably come out years after the PS4 is released, the momentum's going to die down. People are going to buy all these consoles really fast because they're excited for Final Fantasy 15, which we know is not going to happen for a long time. And Kingdom Hearts 3, another game we know is not going to happen for a long time, and should be delayed.
And then they're going to announce Final Fantasy 16.
And then they're going to announce Final Fantasy 16 while Final Fantasy 15 is being announced.
Before Final Fantasy 15 is being announced.
It'll be a mess. But the PS4, what they need...
Mess that is.
I don't know. Knack is a fun game. I'm surprised that didn't sell very well. But the thing is, new franchises are hard to kick off now. Shovel Knight, I gotta say, is a big exception. Shovel Knight is such a fantastic game. It is such a great... I can't wait for the sequel. I want a Shovel Knight 2 right now, like at this moment. It's such a fantastic, very well-polished adventure game. It is really fun. And then, what other new franchises kicked off very well? I'm trying to think. Bayonetta, yeah, that's another one. The Arkham series, that's only because Batman's Batman. Yeah, Bayonetta. Yeah. But PS4, they just need games. That's all. And it would be better if they had more exclusives, because a lot of their games, it's just like last generation. The problem here is third-party companies seem like they want to recreate last generation, because they were very comfortable in last generation. They made their PS3 and 360 games, once in a while make a Wii game, and just keep going on with their daily lives. It was easy, it was efficient, but they have to realize we're in a new generation. You have to start from the beginning, because eventually that's the problem with the console market. It's what makes the console market difficult. People are going to get tired of what they have, and they're going to want an upgrade. People like Nintendo, Sega, who else am I thinking of? Yeah, Sega, Square, all the big boys. They like new hardware because they want to expand their imagination. They want to reach new limits. But that's not always the case. Especially for...
Bandai Namco is another one.
Yeah, Bandai Namco is another one. But here's the thing. Sony and Microsoft, they have gaming divisions, but they make the hardware. They don't really care about the software. But they ride off of third-party companies, which is perfectly acceptable. But if a third-party company really doesn't care about reaching new limitations with new hardware limitations, that's going to be a problem. That's why they bitch every new generation. I'm not even going to lie to you. If anyone who's scared right now that the gaming market's going to crash, no, it's not. Because every generation this happens. And when the PS3 came out, the sales were incredibly abysmal. And Valve was so pissed at them, they were telling Sony they better apologize for making horrible soft hardware. When the 360 came out, Red Ring deaths everywhere. Everywhere. And this same thing was happening. It happened before, it'll always happen till the end of time. Always, 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 always. Especially with the internet. Especially with the internet. This will always happen, always, 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 always.
What do you expect? People are
will never get old.
Well, the gears got to start rolling. It's going to be difficult, but I don't think the PS4 is going to do fine. Especially, it already sold so many units. They're just in hot water right now because they're not getting much content that people are really interested in. Sure, everyone's buying FIFA 15 and racing games and whatnot.
Just because it's FIFA.
But you can't...
FIFA.
Yeah, you can't ride on the bro gamers forever, and you can't ride on the casuals forever. In fact, the casuals are running to mobile to gaming. It's cheaper, more reliable, and it suits them better. But they're small games that nobody really cares about. So that's what we have handhelds and consoles and PCs for. I mean, I think I personally I think I have the best combo. I play my PC and I have my Nintendo, the games. That's just me. It doesn't work for everybody. But, you know, some people like Sony and PC or Sony and Nintendo I see a lot. Microsoft Sony I see quite a bit. But that's more rare because Sony consoles and Microsoft consoles tend to have a very similar library.
I'm mostly PC and Sony also because mostly it's Gundam games out on the PS3 that I play sometimes.
Right.
I'm a PC, Sony, and Nintendo guy.
Yeah.
Three. Microsoft.
I do play Nintendo, but I haven't got a chance to get the 3DS yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Microsoft. You go bye-bye.
I love my 3DS. I love my 3DS so much.
You're not needed anymore. Go bye-bye.
Microsoft, they're here to stay. I don't know. Some people like them. What are you going to do? I'm not a fan of Microsoft. I've never been a fan of Microsoft. I just don't like the hardware they make. I'm not going to be one of those people who say, oh, they're an evil company, burn them to the ground. I'm not going to be one of those people. I'm just not a happy customer with them because I've bought their products. I've bought things from them, and I never liked them. I thought they were very crappily made. I thought they were made quickly just so they can make a buck. That is my history with them. That is my experience with them. If you don't share that experience, perfectly justifiable. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just saying Sony, I think, was a good escape for people who didn't want Microsoft and didn't want Nintendo. It's perfectly logical. That's what the meaning of competition is, and it's going to be fine. I think everyone calls... Of course, there's no Sony is doomsday, because the gaming media is not biased towards Sony. They're biased towards Nintendo. But it is happening.
Because they don't want to buy anyone's reviews.
Yeah.
For good reviews.
Right. But
guess what, guys? They don't need to buy the reviews. Their games are always great. With maybe one or two exceptions per generation.
But yeah, I have a feeling 2015. There's already plenty of PS4s in people's homes, but 2015 we'll get the gears rolling for PS4
and the Wii U.
And yeah, well, we're not talking about the Wii U today. Maybe we will another time, but not today. I had enough of the watching Wii U trouble videos on YouTube and articles about Nintendo. I had enough of that. I don't want to talk about that for a long time on our channel.
It's getting really annoying with all those
because again they're over
fear modelers.
Right, because again it's an over exaggeration. This happens every new generation, especially if you didn't do well in marketing, like Nintendo. Let's go back to the Virtual Boy. That was the exact opposite situation of Wii U. It was very well advertised, and people bought a lot of them, and they still returned them right back because it caused problems. And it only lasted less than a year. Let's look back at Sony's PS3. It sold horribly at first, and people hated it, and now it became the most popular console of that generation. And then we'll look at I'm trying to think. I know there's another Nintendo example that didn't get advertised very well and did poorly, but bounced back up. The DS, yeah, that wasn't doing very well. The PSP was making the PSP fans were making fun of the DS when it first came out, and now look how that turned out.
Yep.
You know what's funny? I had something important to say and I forgot about it.
That is funny. Yeah. You want to think about it? We'll wait.
I'm trying to.
We'll wait.
Oh, wait.
Pornography. Yeah. No, it wasn't it.
That's always it with you.
No, that was just a joke. I was gonna say something.
Scratching myself. Scratching myself. Let's scratch my... I'm going to scratch my belly while you think. Yeah. Scratch your belly. How's your
Oh, my fucking Lord.
You know, it's something I actually
hit me in the back of the head with a baseball bat. Maybe I'll remember.
I don't want to break the bat, Tyler. And for those who want to know, yes, Tyler's bat is made of aluminum.
No, it's not made of aluminum. It's a fucking softball bat.
It's a joke, Tyler.
It's iron.
See, now you lost. Oh, okay. Made the joke better.
It's
all right.
Fucking iron.
I'm gonna hit you with a cast iron.
Cast iron.
Actually, you know, it's funny though. You know what I think would help the PS4 a lot if they put more demos around. I mean, the Wii U needs that too, but everywhere I go, I only seen one playable PS4 demo. Other than that, there were videos on a TV screen with the console and display glass.
Or you can use the Vita.
Or you can use the Vita, but I don't give two shits about the Vita.
The Vita sucks.
Look, I want the Vita. At one point, let me rephrase that. At one point, I wanted the Vita because I thought it's good. It is awesome HD handheld, dual analog stick. I love that.
The only thing I don't.
It doesn't have that bullshit the PSP had, especially with discs. I hated that idea of disc-based handheld.
Yeah, I can't wait to trade in my PSP for a Vita.
But it's like
the only thing I don't like about the Vita is the fact that you can play console games on a handheld.
Well, that was the PSP's problem. They did the same thing, but you shouldn't do that because if I'm going to play a console game, I'm going to play them at home, unless I can bring the save data with me and bring it back. But I'm still not going to do that. I'd rather play portable games made specifically for that hardware.
Well, Monster Hunter 3
mostly
does that.
The ones that are made for the portable games are like what is it? Ragnarok Odyssey, Soul Sacrifice. That was only a PS Vita exclusive.
Right.
Toy Age of Demons was also a PSP exclusive. Then we got the Dragon's Crown 5 Vanillaware, which is also a PS Vita exclusive, along with the Ruined Monster Demon Blade remake for the Vita.
By Vanillaware. Right. What I really like about how Nintendo handles their hardware is what the games they make are specifically made for the unique capabilities of the hardware. Even the NES. I was actually talking about this in the last video game analysis video I did on Friday. I explained the point where when the NES was made, Nintendo wanted to show off games that you could... Because here, you got to remember this for a second. When the NES came out, this was right after the crash of '83. There was no home gaming anymore. There was none. So when the NES came out, Nintendo didn't make it their mission to do what the 2600 did. The 2600 was their thing was play arcade games at your home. NES's point was you can do things with home gaming you can't do with the arcade, and that is a tradition they still do. You can do things on the Super Nintendo you can't do in an arcade. And now in the N64, you can do something on the N64 you couldn't do in the past, 3D gaming. And with the GameCube, they advanced on that. And the Wii, you can do something on the Wii you can't do anywhere else with its motion control. And now with the Wii U, I can say this without a doubt. You can do things on the Wii U you can't do anywhere else. It is a fact. And I think more consoles need to do that. Problem is, that's not going to happen for a long time because people are buying PS4s and Xbox Ones without the research. The problem here is, and if you made the thing is, if you make a good decision, fine. If you want the console, I'm not talking about you people. I'm talking about the people who blindly buy hardware without researching it first. If you're going to stick to a brand name, fine. I'm a Nintendo loyalist myself, but if Nintendo ever fucked up, guess what? I'm going to ditch their asses. If they ever piss me off, same thing with Ubisoft. If you asked me a year ago, I would never have said I will leave Ubisoft. Now I have left Ubisoft because they pissed me off. It's going to be no different for Nintendo.
Same thing with me and EA. I used to be a really big Need for Speed fan, but after what they did recently, I said, "Okay, screw you."
Yeah,
EA,
I'm out with EA too. But
ever since EA has been doing mostly sports, I have not been a fan of EA at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's my point. It's like, don't piss off your fans, but the fans need to do some research too. The reason why I got excited from the Wii U and I bought a Wii U on launch day was because I looked at what it can do. Nintendo didn't deliver with giving me information. I looked for the information. you're not going to buy a car without doing research. And I know a console isn't the same kind of investment as a car, but it should be treated the same way because you're going to end up with a paperweight. You're going to be complaining that there's no games. But guess what? That's always going to happen in the beginning.
It's like the same
it's
thing.
It's because you don't do your own research and you don't buy games that you actually enjoy playing. And if people ask me why do I still stick with the Vita, it's because I want to do my own imports like I did with the PSP. I did imports of Bandai Namco's unreleased games in the US, like the Gaiden series and the Super Robot War series also.
Yeah,
it's the biggest reason I'm still sticking with the Vita. It's mostly I'm waiting for Bandai Namco to come up with the next game for the Vita.
It's like the same thing with me in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It's exactly the same because here's the thing. I did do my research. I read reviews from.
Well, a lot of people say it's the best critics. In the series.
It's not. It's the worst.
Right. I don't know.
I read review. Well, that's my opinion.
I didn't like it either. I didn't play a lot of it, granted, but I didn't like it much either. But a lot of people say it's the best in the series.
No, I'm talking about Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about too.
Yeah, I played literally the first level and I threw the game out the window because.
Well, everyone says they love it because of the ship levels.
No, I can understand the ship levels, but here's the thing though. They ruined Assassin's Creed for me. I'm a big fan of Assassin's Creed.
Well, are you still gonna get Unity?
I don't have a PS4.
Right, because there is gonna be a Wii U Assassin's Creed game coming out this year.
I hope
it's different though. It's not gonna be Unity, but it is gonna run on the Wii.
I want to get Unity just because of the multiplayer.
Yeah, Unity looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not gonna buy it because I'm not a supporter of Ubisoft anymore. But I have to admit, it looks fucking cool.
Yeah, but what Ubisoft did that pissed me off. The game. You literally have everything at the beginning. You can buy the strongest weapons. You can get the fastest and strongest ship.
So there's no point of progressing.
There literally was no point in progressing. I mean, in the DLC, I got the DLC because I bought it day one.
Yeah.
Normally with DLC, you have to go to like an island or you have to go through a dungeon to unlock it. Like in Assassin's Creed 3. In order to get the field protection ring against bullets, you got to go to an island and you had to undo a dungeon.
Right.
That I like.
Well, it's the basic primal need for a gamer in a 3D environment. They want to earn and collect. That's what the basis of Mario 64 was, and that's what the basis of all 3D gaming is. You want to earn and collect. In 2D games, it's different. You want to go to a destination, and that's still true in 3D games, but you need to collect and earn.
Yeah, and Assassin's Creed 3, like, you bought it? Okay, you earned it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's...
And then
they EA'd it. You don't get things through skill, you get things through microtransactions.
Yeah, and the worst thing is that they did... Actually, two of the worst things that they did. The AIs are stupid as fuck, where you can just literally... Like, say you're the guard and like, say where I am, I'm the guard.
Well, the Brits weren't that smart in Assassin's Creed 3 either.
No, but they were smarter.
Okay.
Okay, like, say I'm where the guard is. I'm an assassin with a giant sword over my back with the head of their general in my arm. And they won't do shit.
You can just walk around with the kill?
Like, the hell? And then the rating system. The second they brought the rating system in,
I hate rating systems.
Yeah,
I always hated rating systems because it's like, why do you grade me? I beat the level. Fuck you if I got it.
No. Not grading us. They want us to grade them.
Why? That's stupid.
Why?
Oh, because they have to make a new one every year, so they got to know what to do and what not to do.
You know what I said on the first review?
What?
Scrap this project. You ruined it.
Yeah.
I literally that's what I wrote.
Look, that's what happens when you make yearly events of a game that's complicated. You can get away with that by reskinning a sports game or reskinning a first-person shooter.
Here's the thing. They did it fine with all the other games. Assassin's Creed Revelations, it had its ups and downs.
The trilogies, you have to remember, were made very carefully and made very time-sparingly. Like, between Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 was an incredible amount of time.
Because that was a new thing.
Yeah.
But after 2, they started becoming more frequent. To the point where they could do it yearly.
Right.
Because it's the basic same principle, just adding on new features.
Well,
the only time besides Assassin's Creed 4 that I say that they screwed up a little bit was Revelations, because they put too much in it and there was too much to do at once.
Right.
And the map wasn't suited for it.
Well, you know what they need to do? The thing is, you know what PS4 needs, the point we're getting at is they have to start thinking more on the lines of don't just make your console more powerful, also work on building your software around the hardware because it makes things more interesting. It keeps gamers' interest, and it also, hopefully, if the designers actually care about their job, they'll love to play with these new toys, the new things at their disposal. Because you can go from a game like when I saw the reveal for Zelda Wii U, I thought that was the best example of how a developer should be and should act. They said that they always wanted the Zelda game to feel like the first one, where you don't know where you're going and you're exploring around the world to beat the game. And now they're doing that with Zelda U. They made us points. They said, like, we almost got that in Wind Waker, but we didn't quite get it. Now we're going to do it. They're excited for this opportunity. That's what consoles need to do. The PS4, in conclusion, it's sold amazingly, and it'll do just fine. It's the leader of this generation. Just got to get the games up, and
pull this shit together.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Instead of trying to be tight, money-grubbing assholes, focus on your fans and what they want. Don't try to sell your TVs. Don't push the Vita on.
I know, but
make me want to buy this stuff. Not try to push it on me.
Just work. They'll be fine. They're going to be the most successful. I can't tell the future, but they're definitely not going to be in last place this generation. I'm going to guarantee you that. They are not going to be in last place.
Of course not.
So, with that, we're out of time, and we'll see you guys.
Yeah. Horrible gamer. Shelter and money. I am out.
Bye.
And this was Triple M reporting out.
Bye.
Yeah, what he said.